Hello, College Park Cougars. Welcome back. Today we are going to do the pink star words. Take a look over at this list and you might see some words you're familiar with and other words you're not as familiar with. The ones that you're not sure of quite yet are the ones you're really going to want to focus on during our practice. In this practice, we will go over some compound words, which are here, that are two words made into one word. We're also going to see some contractions, which are two words turned into one word using an apostrophe. So let's go ahead and get started with the pink words. We're going to start today with the contractions. Here is the first contraction. The first contraction is aisle. Say aisle. Aisle is the contraction that we use to represent the two words I will. Now, when we contract something means we put it together. So aisle turns into aisle. And the way that works is that the W and I are being taken away and being replaced by that apostrophe. Say apostrophe. It's a tricky word to say. So you just saw I will turn into I'll. For example, I'll go to the grocery store with you. Oh, that should be grocery store, not story. Silly card. But again, you could say that with I will. I will go to the grocery store with you. Both of them make sense, but we shorten it to I'll. Here's another contraction. This contraction is the contraction it's. Say it's. Good. It's is a contraction for the two words it is. Instead of saying it is, we say it's as a shorthand for it is. Now, with this contraction, we need to take away that I in the is and turn it into an apostrophe. So, it's, it is the contraction for it's. It was, it is, and then it turns into it's. For example, it's a beautiful day for a picnic. Or you could say, it is a beautiful day for a picnic. Both make sense because it's is a contraction for it is. Here comes our next contraction. This next contraction is the contraction don't. Say don't. Don't is the contraction for do not. Do not put together becomes the contraction don't. And as we see here, the letter that's being replaced with the apostrophe is the letter O. We take that away and we replace it with that apostrophe to become don't. D, O, N, apostrophe, T, don't. Great job. For example, please don't run in the hallways. Or you could say, please do not run in the hallways, and it still makes sense because don't is really the contraction for do not. Don't. Great job. We have one more contraction. This contraction is the contraction didn't. Say didn't. Good. The two words that make up the word didn't is did, not. Did not gets contracted into didn't when I replace that O with a apostrophe. Didn't. The sounds of didn't are d, d, n, t. Didn't. Notice how that apostrophe goes in between the N and the T where that O used to be. Did not turns into the contraction didn't. For example, We didn't go to the park because it was raining. It would still make sense if we said, we did not go to the park because it was raining. Didn't and do not mean the same thing, but we contract it to the word didn't. Great job with practicing all those contractions. Here comes some regular sight words or red words. Here we go. Our next word is the word school. Say school. Sound school. Sk, oo, school. S is represented with a S. K. You hear a K, but even though you hear a K or a C sound, it is represented by CH. Sk, oo. That oo you hear is a double O sound. Sk, oo, is an L. Let's sound out school together. Sk, oo, school. For example, we can have fun while we learn at school. The word is school. Great job. Now we're going to go into the next word. The next word is every. Say every. Every is 3 syllables. Ev, e. Every. Let's sound out ev. Ev, ev. Ev, We just hear the sound of an R, but remember, it is its own syllable, so it needs to have a vowel, so it's ER. Ever, E. We hear a long E, but we know when we hear a long E at the end, it's a Y. Every. Let's sound out every. 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 For example, my brother and I visit our grandparents every Sunday afternoon. Every. The word is every. Here comes our next word. Our next word is the word really. What's the word? Really. Really is 2 syllables. Real, ly. Really. Let's sound out real. Eel. Real. Let's sound out ly. Ly. Really. Is an R. E is that long E sound, but here it's represented with the vowel team E-A. O. Real. Now we have ly. O-E. Oh, there's that E at the end that we know is a Y. Really. Let's sound out really. E-E. Really. For example, I swam really fast at the swim meet. The word is really. Awesome job. The next word is another 2-syllable word. It is the word letter. Letter could be like a letter in the alphabet, like L is a letter in the alphabet, or a letter could be a note, like I wrote a nice letter to my mom. The syllables of letter are let, ter, letter. Let's sound out let. Let, and ter, t-er. Let is O, L, E, t, t. Let. Now ter, t, t, Now I need to have a vowel. I only hear R, so I include ER to make letter. Let's sound out letter. Let, letter. Great job. For example, this is letter as in the alphabet letter. Cameron's name begins with the letter C, letter being an alphabet letter. Here's the other example for letter. I will write my grandpa a letter to tell him about my school day. Letter being a note. Letter. Awesome job. Now we are going to move into compound words. Compound words are two words put together to create one word. Here's the first compound word, maybe. Maybe is the two words of may, be. May, be. Let's sound out may. A, may. Let's sound out be. B, be. Maybe. For maybe, sound out may. Is the letter M. A is the vowel A-Y. And you might say, hey, A-Y is supposed to go at the end. Well, it can go at the end of a whole word, or it could go at the end of a syllable to make A, may. Let's sound out B. B is a B. E is a Y, or is a E to make maybe. Let's sound out maybe. A, B, E. Maybe. Let's see the example. Maybe we can have a play date after school. The word is maybe. Here comes our next compound word. Our next compound word is the word without. The without is the two small words of with and out put together. The first syllable is with. With. Sound out with. 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 The second syllable is out. Out. Sound out out. 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 Without. Let's sound out with. W is a W. W is an I. W is a TH. To make the first syllable with. Now to make the syllable out. Ow is spelt with an O-U. Out is spelt with a T. The word is without. Let's sound out without all together. If, out, without. For example, Aiden can tie his shoes without any help. The word is without. And here comes our last two compound words. Our first compound word is the compound word something. The two small words that are within the compound word of something are some and thing. Some and thing. Let's sound out some. Some. S is an S. You hear the sound of a short U, but it is spelled with an O. Is an M, and there's a silent E that is alternating that O sound to a sound to make some. Now let's sound out thing. Thing. Thing is spelled with a TH. Is an short I, and is an NG. To make the word something, the compound word something, let's sound it out all together. Something. For example, would you like something to eat? The word is something. Now I'm going to use the some and change the second syllable for this new word to make someone. Now, someone is the two words of some and the word one. Someone. Now, one is a tricky word. It technically has two sounds. One, w, or three sounds. W, n. But you hear a w, an and a n. And that's nowhere how we spell one. So we just recognize it as a team together. That's different. Someone. And we normally put it in one box because it is so irregular. Someone. Now let's sound out someone. 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 For example, I hear someone knocking on the front door. The word was someone. Now I'm going to take these words and I'm going to mix them up. Let's see if you can beat me in reading these words. Let's see if we can do it. School. Didn't. Someone. Aisle. Don't. Really. Every. Without. It's. Something. Maybe. Letter. Great job at trying out the pink star words. Take a look at this list now and see if you can read all of these words. If not, keep practicing these words until you are fast and fluent. See you next time.